Hey, in this video, I'm going to give you my honest physical therapist review of the OasisSpace Upright Walker. This walker is especially good for people suffering from hip pain, back pain, and knee pain so that they can get exercise. And more on this later. I'm going to talk about exactly how to use this to build your strength and your endurance if you're specifically suffering from back pain, hip pain, and knee pain. But first, I'm going to give you some details and just review the product as well. But first, I'm just going to give you some details, some information about this product. Now, my name is Dr. David Midoff, and I'm a specialist physical therapist at Paso Manual Physical Therapy. And this channel is dedicated to helping people stay healthy, active, and mobile while avoiding unnecessary surgery, injections, and pain medication. We make videos with helpful advice, tips, exercises, and stretches for a variety of problems. So please consider subscribing to this channel so that you don't miss out on any of our helpful tips. Now, OasisSpace did send me this walker, and they are having me do this video for them, which I was happy to do because this is an excellent walker. And honestly, as a specialist physical therapist, I see people with walkers all the time, and I never see them with these upright walkers that have these platforms right here. And now that I got a chance to play with one of these, it's phenomenal. I really like it, and I'll tell you more about that in my opinion later on. So let me tell you what came in the box. It came with this main frame down here that I put together. It was really easy to put together. All I had to do was attach these armrests right here. So let me just detach one so I can show you what that looks like. All I had to do was install both of the armrests, just like this one. And it's got this little button here that you just slide right in to the frame here. And it should pop into place right there. And it's at the tallest setting right now, which you can adjust lower. I'm taller, I'm 6 foot tall, over 6 foot, 6'2". And then you just put in the screw here. Oh, let me show you what the screw looks like. Real simple screw. You don't need any tools to put this together. So it's got these knobs that you can very easily turn. The screw fits into the knob. So you put the screw in on the inside, get it to come out to the other side, and then you just twist the knob and you're good to go. So it's got two ways to stay in place. This screw with this knob and then this button. So it's pretty secure once you have it set up, and the other side's set up the exact same way. And then this was folded up. I'll just show you how this folds here. This way, so both sides are folded up as it is foldable and locked in place so that you can store it. You pull that little knob out and then it'll lock in place this way. And then it had this detachable bag as well that I had to put on. Really easy to take off and put on. And the only other thing that came in the box, which I wasn't sure what it is this thing. It looks like a very mini cup holder. I mean, you can't fit a normal sized cup. Maybe one of those little 8-ounce cans will fit right here. But even then, I don't know where to attach this onto the device, but that came with it, just letting you know. And the instruction booklet on how to put it together, which there was nothing about this in the instruction booklet, so I just thought that was interesting. Maybe it was a spare part for something else that accidentally got thrown in there. But the instructions are right there. It comes with very simple, straightforward instructions on how to operate it as well. But if you're watching this video, you're going to want to just watch me and how to use this thing and how to easily put it together. The only other screws that I had to put on, which were with those knobs, are these down here just to lock the big wheels in place right here so that they don't come out, because you can actually take the screw out and shift the position of the wheels if you need to store it a little better. Now let's talk about the features of this walker. So of course, the big main differentiating feature compared to a normal walker is going to be these arm supports with the handles right here. So this is how you would use a walker. You lean on it with your elbows and forearms on these forearm rests, and then you'd grab the handles here. This is different from a normal walker, which the handles are going to be right here. So when you lean on the walker, on a typical usual walker, you're going to be putting all that pressure through your wrists, through your forearms this way. And so it just changes how much you have to use, how much strength you have to use from your arms. You have to actually have good hand and wrist strength to maneuver those walkers, the normal rollator walkers. This rollator walker is going to be mainly supporting your forearms and your elbows. So this is a definite advantage for exercise, for strengthening and endurance, which I'll speak more to at the end of this video. You've got the main frame, the silver colored part, and they do come in different colors on their website, which you can get to the website to purchase this if you're interested through a link that we've got in the description below this video. It's got this backrest right here, pretty sturdy backrest, and it stays in place. It's not very floppy, so it doesn't just fall down. And then same thing with the seat here. And the seat has this little handle right here that you would pull up to unlock it so that you can fold it up easily. And the brake mechanisms, let's talk about that real quick. So you would just squeeze the brake here to stop the walker. It's got a cable brake that goes down onto the back wheel right here so that it puts this little black plastic part against the back wheel to stop it, just so you can see it work there. And of course you've got them on each side so you can control that. And then the brakes do lock, so if you just push them away, they get into a locked position right there, and now they won't move at all, so that this won't roll away. If you're on a little bit of an incline, you can always lock it in position, and then you would just squeeze it, and it's pretty easy to unlock so that now it can roll very easily. Now going back to the detachable bag, it's got these little loops that just go on these plastic supports on the front of the OasisSpace Walker, and it's pretty cool, good sized bag, so you can carry your belongings in there and it's not gonna get in the way. It's got this big space, and it does have a strap that it came with that you can attach to the little plastic loops here so that you can carry it with you in case you need to go somewhere. And it's even got a little shoulder pad to go over your shoulder. Pretty easy to get on. You just snap it in place like that and you get the other one on. And you got a little additional purse or a bag that you can carry with you in case you've got to get away from your walker and still take your stuff. And I like this double zipper with this little loop in here because you can just easily shut both sides, and it's big enough to fit, quite big stuff in there. So you don't have to worry about carrying everything in your hands. And then you just get the loop and put it right on there on both sides. Whoops, I didn't get it on all the way. There we go. And that stays in position for you. Now, the manufacturer, OasisSpace, does have a 300-pound capacity on this, and they have said on their website that this is designed for people 5 foot tall to 6 foot tall, so that you can adjust the armrests on here. Now, I'm 6'2", so I'm taller than 6 foot, and I feel like I have to lean on this just a bit, but it's comfortable right here. I don't feel like it's bothersome at all, or like it's gonna become bothersome to have to hunch over just a bit. In fact, it's actually going to be beneficial for exercise. More on that in just a minute. Now, the other feature that is distinguishing is the wheels. That's a 10-inch wheel on the front right there and an 8-inch wheel on the back. And these are relatively big wheels for a rollator walker. Usually you get 6-inch wheels or a little smaller. Now let's talk about the pros of this device, and we'll get to the cons right afterwards. But just going off the wheel size, I really like the big wheels, especially because the bigger the wheel, the less you're going to feel the bumps and cracks on the surfaces that you're walking on. So if you're using this to go walk out in the park or a mall or somewhere where there's going to be little cracks like in the cement or tile or different surfaces that you're on, you'll go over those gaps a lot easier, and you're a lot less likely to get stuck, because that's what I see people do all the time. They're using the walker, especially the ones with the tiny wheels, like the little 4-inch wheels, and then they get stuck in a crack and they have to lift the walker over the crack and keep going. This one's just gonna go on through those cracks. You might feel a little bump, but it's not gonna get stuck. So I like that quite a bit. The main advantage of this, in my opinion, is if somebody who has a wrist and hand problem, like if you got arthritis in your wrist or hand, which happens a lot, you're going to have a lot of trouble putting weight through your hands. So this allows you to put weight through your forearms and frees up your hands to just operate the brake and hold on for stability. And one thing I didn't mention earlier is it's got this lever here, so you can so you can lengthen or adjust the position of your hand grip here. And it's just like a lever here that you would twist and open and close like so, and you can adjust it. And so you can fine tune the angle that you want your handles at. If you want them right here at this angle, because some people can't turn their wrists all the way, especially if you've got wrist arthritis or wrist problems, and you can customize that position. Now the other pro is this is easily foldable. I haven't even showed you the folding mechanism, but watch this. All you're gonna do is grab this handle, pull it up, and it just comes together, and then you just squeeze it at the end there. So that folds that way. You can stop there if you have enough trunk space to travel in your car, or you can get it onto your car, which it's not super heavy. Now it is heavier than a smaller walker just because it's got, you know, more stuff on it, the upright supports. But I mean, I can pick it up with one hand. It's probably close to 20, 25 pounds. And then what you would do here is just pull this little lever here to unlock it and move that up like so. Same thing with the other one. Just have to give this a shove up. And now it's pretty upright. And you can take these screws off right here and fold the wheels up. Let me just do one for you so you can see. And then the wheel comes up like so. So the wheels tuck in. You could put this right back in the spot where it was, or you can take it with you in store. See, it holds on right there. And then, I just barely noticed this. You have a reflective little panel there for safety. So if you're outside, it's getting dark, or it's early morning, sun hasn't quite come up all the way, you have a little reflective device there. So let me just get this back in position. And let's open this back up just so you can see how this opens. You just lock that in position there. Move this pin out, lock it in position there. It's already swinging open. And then you would just push the seat down on the side. It's got these little pins that lock in position. This pin right here locks into that hook, and you have one on the other side as well. So when you push down, and it doesn't take a whole lot of force, you hear a small click. See if you can hear it. That's it. It didn't even click. It just kind of settles in position, and now it's going to lock, and it stays in position until you decide to pull this handle up again. So very easy to use, and it doesn't take a lot of force to lock it in a position or to unlock it. I mean, it's almost effortless. Now let's talk about some cons to this device. Now, like I said earlier, it is heavier than a normal walker. So if you feel like you're quite weak in being able to pick things up, I think it's around 20 pounds. I wish I would have weighed it, but I couldn't find that information on the manufacturer's website either. So 20 pounds-ish, more or less, that might be tougher for you to carry. To put it in perspective, a gallon of milk or water is about a little more than 8, almost 9 pounds. So this would be a little more than 2 of those, 2 gallons of milk. So if you can carry 2 gallons of milk, you should be okay carrying this to maneuver it in and out of your vehicle if you're traveling with this. Now this is also taller than a normal walker, so the space in putting this in your trunk, if you've got a very small vehicle or a vehicle that's got more of a hatchback rather than a full-size trunk, that might not work for you. But I have tried to put this in the trunk of a car, and it fits just fine. As long as you don't have a bunch of other stuff, you might just make some space if you do, and it fits just fine. Fits well in the back seat of a vehicle as well. And in storing this device, the other con that I found, and it was okay, it wasn't really like a huge deal, but these cables, these brake cables can snag on things. Even when you store it down, these cables stick out quite a bit. Now, an easy solution that I thought of to address this is just to get some zip ties. I haven't gotten it yet, but they sell plastic zip ties at like your hardware store, very cheap. You can get some for pennies or a few cents, and you would just zip tie that in place wherever you feel like it's best for you. But there is extra slack, and I think they do that so that you can take these supports off if you want to, and have enough slack to pull it, telescope this out and get it to where you need to. But in the assembled position here, these don't really get in the way whenever you're going around places. It's more when you store the device. If you're moving it in and out of places where there's things, this could get snagged in the way. But I don't think it's a deal breaker, because what I'm going to tell you next, my honest opinion about this, I love this walker. I think this walker is fantastic, especially if you're looking to exercise for a back problem, a hip problem, or a knee problem. And when I talk about exercise, I mean like going for walks, because walking is a good thing. I've got videos on our channel here about how to walk properly and why walking is an excellent exercise, especially if you've got like a glute weakness and you're helping out a back, a hip, or a knee problem. And this one helps you to get more time on your feet, more walking. Obviously, it's unloading a painful area. If you've got a painful knee, a painful hip, or your back's hurting and it feels better to just lean on this like that. Like you would lean on a shopping cart, you know, at a store, the handle on the shopping cart goes this way. And a lot of people find comfort just leaning over like this on the shopping cart. This gives you the same effect of being able to lean onto the walker here because of the upright supports. Of course, you got the controls here, so you just hold on like this. Now, if you can use your muscles properly and go on a walk, like, I mean, go knock out a good 5, 10, if you can, 15 or 20 minutes or more of walking, using your muscles properly, this walker is going to allow you to last a lot longer versus the walker where you put your hands on, because your arms are just going to get tired. You're not designed, your arms and your hands are not designed to put a lot of weight through them. So your body can take it for a period of time, but not nearly as long as if you can rest your elbows onto the device, then your legs will last a lot longer. Now, the sturdiness of the device gives me confidence that you're going to be able to use this out for hours if you wanted to. You know, if you wanted to start an exercise routine where you're going to go walking for exercise 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, or 7 days a week even, this thing will last. You probably won't need to buy another walker for a long, long time, if ever, because it's so sturdy. What you might do if you feel like you can is get a conventional walker, a conventional rollator walker that has the seat and the wheels like this, that you would hold down here with your hands, you don't put your elbows on, and get this one. And I would use this one for when you're gonna go walking for a distance, and then use the other one when you just have to get around to appointments, to, you know, a quick thing where you're not gonna be on your feet for too long. That way your arms can tolerate that. But if you're gonna be on your feet for a while, this is the way to go, because you can really lean on your arms. Now, if you've got back pain, let me just show you how to use this walker when you walk to make sure that you're helping your back pain. Oftentimes with back pain, the muscles on the back of the spine right here are being overused, and that those overused muscles begin to compress the discs in the spine here, and that's what causes the pinching in the nerves, the stenosis, arthritis through the facet joints, through the joints of the spine. And in order to offload the spine, you have to get stronger in the abs. And the fact that you can lean a bit on this, and even I would even adjust it for a little bit lower than your height, because they ideally want you to be a little taller up. And see how if I stand up tall, even if I slouch a little bit, my elbows are just barely off the elbow rests here. So the fact that I have to do this right here, that little lean forward, allows me to crunch my abs, which is hugely beneficial for offloading the spine. So if I just allow myself to bend over, but simultaneously suck in my abs, tighten up my abs when I do that, which is gonna kind of hunch my lower back, round it out rather than arc it. You don't want a big arc when you're doing this. You actually want to flatten your low back. And if you can maintain kind of almost like a crunch, like you're sucking in your abs while you're walking, that is doing a ton of good stuff for your spine. So I would just go on a walk and focus on sucking in the abs as you walk. It's going to make your butt muscles want to fire too, and that's okay. If you turn your walking into an abdominal exercise, like I'm telling you, by sucking in these abs, over time, that's going to decompress your spine and begin to fix the muscle imbalance that probably got you into this position in the first place. The imbalance being that your back muscles are too strong and then your abdominal muscles in the front are too weak. But if you're walking, holding in your abs and tightening things up there, it's going to decompress. And you might get relief right in the moment. You might find that you can last longer walking. And then the fact that you're supported by this does allow you to be on your feet for longer without compressing the discs, the spine, or the spinal cord as much. Now, if you've got hip or back pain, then it's going to be especially important for you to not only do the abs like I just showed you for the back, but also the glutes. So same maneuver, whenever you're on the walker, you would just suck in those abs, but now every time you take a step, like if I'm gonna step with my left leg right here, when I put pressure on my left foot and I'm swinging this right leg, you need to think about tightening up that left glute. So pressure on the left foot, tighten the left glute. And then as I step onto the right leg, now my left leg's off the ground, this glute's gonna relax, and then my glute on my right side should tighten up a little bit. So it's like you're alternating glute contractions as you're walking. So let me just take the steps here. So I'm stepping on my right leg, so my right glute's gonna fire, left leg, left glute's gonna fire, right glute, left glute. And that's how I would proceed with walking. I would just focus and concentrate on that. Tighten your glute appropriately as you're walking while even still sucking in your abs. And that is excellent form for making sure that you're decompressing all those joints and not putting the full load of your body weight through your knees. Now, sorry, I got ahead of myself. I haven't even shown you how easy it is to sit in this thing and how well it supports you. At first, I just thought, this looks like it might not hold me. I'm 220 pounds and I was a little afraid to sit on this, but it feels great. And I love that I can put my arms up here. This just feels comfortable. The backrest, let me just swing around here, is pretty supportive as well. I can really lean back and I'm okay. So if you're exercising and you get tired or winded, or your back's hurting, your hips or knees are hurting, you can just take a break and get off your feet so that you can allow yourself to flare down a bit if you're in pain, and then still make it home or get to where you need to get to after you've sat for a minute. So overall, I love this walker. I highly recommend it. The wheels are fantastic for outdoors, and I especially recommend it if you're looking to help your back pain, help a knee or hip problem, because you can use this to exercise. The wheels are big enough for you to get just about anywhere as long as it's not too uneven, like gravel. But even gravel, these wheels should do okay. Hey, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. And if you want to purchase a walker just like this one, check out the link in the description below and you'll get right to it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.